I cut out these 5 bad habits in my life and I replaced them with new ones. And I kid you not, the minute that I cut those out and started practicing these new habits, my life completely changed. And I'm talking about a small town girl from Iowa making like $500 a month, always being heartbroken by men, living at my dad's house, to building a multi-6-figure business, moving across the country to Florida, marrying the love of my life, building honestly like a worldwide brand, and manifesting her dream life. Looking back at it, when I was outlining this video and writing out all of the bad habits that I used to do that I had to cut out, honestly, if I was still doing those things, I would not have the life that I have today. Bad habit number 1 is complaining about my problems to other people. I love a good vent session. Like I love just having conversation with either like my spouse, my best friend, my sister about what is just going wrong with my life. And sometimes you need that. But when that becomes the common topic in every single conversation that you have with other people, then there's like a bigger issue. I remember I had a friend in college and the basis of our entire friendship, I kid you not, was complaining about our problems. That's honestly how we became friends in the first place. Every single time I'd see her, she would tell me about all of her family drama, boy issues, how she was potentially going to fail her classes. And then, of course, I would always share my problems about having anxiety, feeling down all the time, not having a boyfriend back then, just knowing that I had so much potential, but my life wasn't actually showing any of it. And I remember one time mid-conversation when she was telling me her problems, I thought about something. I'm like, complaining about our problems isn't actually ever going to give me a solution for mine. Like, it might feel really good in the moment to just vent everything out, but at the end of the day, there is no long-term solution. So that's when I realized doing that isn't actually helping me. So in that moment, I replaced all of my complaining with journaling because I noticed any single time I had an issue, problem, I was feeling stressed out, I needed to talk it out. But of course, if you're talking it out with somebody and they're just listening to you, you don't really find a solution. So when I pulled out my journal and I would just start to write out and vent myself, eventually I would come up with different solutions, pathways, ideas of what to actually do. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that you can't tell your problems to anyone at all anymore. You absolutely can, but you know the difference between venting on the same problem day after day for weeks versus just getting advice on a specific thing and actually finding a solution for it. Because I promise you, venting is not going to get you closer to manifesting your dream life and your highest self. Bad habit number 2 is people pleasing. Now, I believe I got this from my mom. Now, my mom passed away when she was 50 years old. I was 15, and her entire life was putting other people first, putting myself first, my siblings first, her family first. And when she was 50, the biggest regret that I feel like she had before she passed away was she had so many things that she wanted to do in her life, but she never actually got around to doing them. Now, of course, there's so much beauty in putting other people first, and I feel like I, of course, took that on and have different traits about that. But as I got older, I started to put a lot of people before myself, and of course, I ended up in a really bad situation where I was living at my dad's house, I was barely making any money, and my mental health took a really big toll. And what I learned during that moment was I had to figure out the difference between giving love versus giving my life away to others. Because when you give your life away to others, you are basically just telling the world and telling universe that you don't matter as much as these other people that you're helping. And in the long term, when you actually think about it, like you only have one life. And if you have dreams, if you want to build a business, if you want to move out of your home state, if you want to marry the love of your life, if you want to come up with an invention, whatever that you want to do, you have the opportunity to actually do it. But the minute that you start to put everybody else's problems first before yours, you can never actually get to the point where you're living out your dream life. So when I first realized that people pleasing was a big problem that I did, when I stopped doing that, I felt actually a lot of guilt. I was guilty that I wouldn't sometimes show up to like birthday parties because I was focused on building my business. I felt guilty when someone needed help with their own problems, but I was really just hanging on to my own energy because once again, that was all that I was around in my college career for like 4 or 5 years. So I ended up replacing people pleasing with being intentionally present 50% of the time, because prior to that, I was being intentionally present for other people 100% of the time, but I was leaving myself out of the equation. So now throughout the week, if someone, if one of my friends reach out to me or they're like, hey, I'm having issues with like my boyfriend, can you come over? Let's talk about it. But that same evening, maybe I had, a book that I was ready to read, or maybe I wanted to go to sleep early because I had Pilates in the morning. I would look at my schedule throughout the week and be like, if I miss this, is this going to basically ruin the rest of my week? If it did, I would tell her, hey, no, I can't do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow afternoon I could come over for like 30 minutes or an hour and we can hang out. When you're intentionally present with other people, but more importantly yourself, you can actually spend more time to manifest and change your life versus always pushing over your boundaries just to help other people. Bad habit number 3, which till this day is sometimes really hard for me, but looking back at it like 3, 4, 5 years ago, I cannot believe how frequently I would do this. And this is negative self-talk. You can't do it. What's wrong with you? Why even try? You're getting wrinkles. Your arm looks fat. They do it better than you. Just stop talking. They don't even like you. This was my inner talk track, honestly, for years on end. But when I realized that I actually wanted to change my life, I wanted to become a different person, I could no longer have this conversation with myself. Because if I actually wanted to be loved and be in a relationship, if I actually wanted to be financially abundant and excel in my career, if I actually wanted to move cities and completely change my life, like that could no longer be the inner dialogue that I was listening to and accepting as true. And one day when I caught myself saying those poor and nasty things to myself, I realized that that voice in my head wasn't actually even mine, because the reason why we have negative self-talk is because it's coming from a past and prior experience or trauma or event. Any single time we want to make change in our life, I realized the reason why I would tell myself I can't do it is because I was trying to protect myself. Our brain always predicts and assumes our reality and our future based on prior experiences. So when I noticed that I was basically creating the same life over and over again, I had to choose a different conversation that actually empowered me instead of hurt me. So what I decided to do was replace all of my negative thinking with cognitive reframing in the moment. So how this basically works is throughout the day, if let's say for an example, you're trying to do something new and you tell your mind, oh, you just can't do it. When when that pops up in your mind, you want to catch yourself in the moment and replace it with a powering thought. So for me, if I was doing something brand new, like maybe I was applying to volunteer at a new company that maybe I really want to do, but I'm afraid to actually put myself out there, the minute my mind goes, you can't do that, I would catch myself and say, hey, like this is actually a brand new experience. And since I have so much knowledge about this industry, I'm gonna have such a great time doing it, even if it doesn't go as well as I planned. This does 2 things. It first touches on the fear that you have because maybe you wanna just do your best and you put yourself on a pedestal, but if you're doing it for the first time, odds are you might make a mistake, you might mess up. So taking yourself off of the pedestal first, and then number 2, replacing the fear with excitement. Because a lot of the times when we're anxious and we feel that like deep-rooted fear in our body, it is honestly just excitement. But since we're so used to the emotion of fear, that's how our body starts to always feel. And this is a really big thing because 99.9% of your negative thoughts, you're actually repeating the same ones over and over again every single day. So before, if you're going on a date, before that, if you tell yourself, oh, this just like isn't gonna work, like he's not gonna be the right guy for me, you wanna tell yourself, oh, I'm so excited to explore this connection. I'm amazing. So of course they're going to like me. Or maybe you get dressed to go to the gym and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, I just don't feel my best. I look bloated. My face looks a little chubby. Instead of telling yourself that, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go to the gym. I'm so happy and I'm so proud that I dressed up and I'm actually making the effort to go. And the key part about this is, and honestly does not matter what thought you replace it with, you just want a thought that's going to make you feel good in the moment, because that is going to catapult you to manifest your dream life a lot faster. Bad habit number 4. Scrolling on social media and constantly comparing myself to other people. I swear, any single time I had downtime throughout the day, which was a lot, I would pick up my phone, I'd get on Instagram, and I would just do this. I would do this, and sometimes there would even be specific people that I would stalk and watch every single day and just see what they were doing in their life. Now, of course, sometimes when you scroll on social media, it's fine because you get inspiration from other creators, you can stay connected with other people. But for me, in this specific example, every single time I would see other people traveling, maybe with their spouse, they were making money, I would always compare myself to them and tear myself apart. Like I would look at their life and be like, oh my gosh, my life sucks. I'm just living at home. Or they're making so much money and they're going on shopping sprees while I'm still wearing the same clothes since like 5 years ago. I would always make their life mean something bad about me. Every single time I was done scrolling, I would look at myself in the mirror and just tear every single part of my life apart. I sometimes consciously knew that was going to happen, but I couldn't get myself out of it, because this is where like short-term dopamine comes into play. When you're so addicted to a bad habit, like scrolling on social media, in the moment, it might feel really good because once again, you're watching someone else basically live the dream life that you want. But afterwards, if you know you're going to compare yourself, if you know that you're going to tear yourself apart, if you know that's going to cause a negative feeling inside of you, you do not want to do it. And that's what was happening to me. So I decided to replace all of my like mundane, boring moments of scrolling on social media and comparing myself and replacing that with other hobbies. So I actually got a coloring book to color on my down moments. I started to go on walks. I started to call my best friends and just have a conversation. I started to read more books. I honestly did anything that made my life more enjoyable versus just looking at other people. Because one big part when it comes to manifesting and changing your life is actually falling in love with your life right now. Doing things all throughout the day that make you feel better than just like thinking about the future moment. Bad habit number 5, eating junk food every single time I was stressed out in my life. So any single time I felt anxious, I felt stressed, I felt like nothing was going my way, I would go into my kitchen, I'd grab candy, chocolate, chips, anything to make myself feel good in the moment. And back then, I would feel anxious almost like every single day. And the reason why I would do that is because in the moment when I would be feeling so bad about myself, my negative thoughts would be like, oh, you're just having a bad day, like treat yourself, have a piece of chocolate, have some sugar, you're gonna feel so good. But in that moment, I thought it was self-love, but it was actually self-harm. Your body creates like 90% of your serotonin in your gut. And if you guys don't know what serotonin is, this is your happy hormone. This is what gives you like the joy, the excitement, the happiness in your day-to-day life. Now, when you are feeding your body with junk, things that are going to inflame your gut cannot produce that happy hormone. So I was basically stuck in a vicious cycle of anxiety, stress, depression, feeling bad about myself because I was constantly eating junk food, hoping and wishing that would make me feel better, but that was actually causing more distress on my body. I wanted to change my life. I wanted to manifest. I wanted to build a business. I wanted to fall in love, but I didn't even have the energy to do all of that because I was genuinely feeding myself with junk. So when I noticed that I was stuck once again in that bad cycle, in that bad habit, I replaced eating all of my junk food with either healthy snacks or realizing and noticing that most of the time, probably like 75% of the time, when I would reach for something in my kitchen, I was just bored. Or I was in like the midst of like an anxiety, stress attack. Like I just started to feel that tense feeling. So instead, I started to do 5 minutes of breath work. And that's basically when you inhale and you exhale and you calm the body down. I would go on walks. I would listen to music. Maybe once again, I would pull out my coloring book. I would do anything that once again would give me the same relief as eating the junk food, because maybe that junk food once again would only give me that good feeling for like 15-20 minutes, but I knew an hour later, 3 hours later, I would feel even worse than before, because once again, my gut wasn't producing any happy hormones. Now, prior to me even catching this bad habit and replacing it with breathwork, humming, drawing, walking, anything else besides just eating junk food, I thought this was just like a small thing that I was doing all throughout the day, but it actually made the biggest difference. When you have energy to actually change your life, you can see it, the big actions, changes, the moods and the emotions that you're gonna start to feel every single day. I always say, if you wanna change your life, it doesn't come down to the actions that you do every single day, but the habits that you create that automatically lead you to your dream life. So if there's one thing that you take away from this video, is just create good habits and take all of mine, so that way you don't have to do all of the bad habits. You don't have to waste years and years of your life like what I did, but you can actually start to implement that today. I love you so much, bestie. Let me know in the comments what habit you're gonna start today. And if you haven't watched this video, make sure to watch it next. Until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.